let me give y'all the first reason why your dog is not going to put muscle on. That the type of protein that you give your dog is going to determine its function. Why is this important? It's very important because dogs are mostly carnivores. They're opportunistic herbivores, but really they're carnivores that are going to take in whatever the little rat or rabbit or whatever was eaten inside of stomach contents. So why am I saying all that? Because Adam Fields was just talking about sports mix, right? And I made a comment, and that comment is meat meal is the first ingredient on the sports mix black bag. Top of the head. I'm not even going on the internet to check it out, right? Because I just literally dropped the video on Kibbles, and I was looking at all of them, came by sports mix black bag, and I was like, oh, damn. When it says meat meal, guys, any type of meat that could be made into meat meal is fair game, right? So that's very highly processed protein. Plus, it's going to get cooked and put through the extruder. By the time your dog gets whatever grams of protein it says it has per cup or per whatever the measuring scale is, your dog's only taking in, who knows, 10, 15, 20%. And you want to know why your dog's not putting on muscle? And you want to know why their skin and fur break down? Let me tell you why. The better protein you give your dog, who's a carnivore and an opportunistic herbivore, the better his or her immune system is going to work, which is going to ward off a lot of things going on with the skin and the fur. And it's also going to put on more muscle. Listen to that, man. Holy mackerel. Can you believe that for a minute? Can you believe that if you feed a bag that has meat meal, your dog's going to have worse immune system and worse muscle than if you actually fed either raw or cooked meat? Come on, man. This is why so many people that either go to raw or are cooking. By the way, guys, right now, I'm cooking about 70% of the food I'm feeding my dogs. You're probably asking why. I'm going to tell you why. As a breeder, you better learn to evolve. I'm a dog breeder, okay? But even if you're not a breeder and you're a dog owner and your dog's having all these skin issues, you better learn how to evolve. Otherwise, you're going to be feeding that sports mix and you're going to have a dog without too many muscles and possibly with a messed up immune system. Because here's the other kicker. AFCO, right? The one that I don't want to say regulates, but makes it seem like it's official, right? They allow, whenever you put byproduct or even meal, they allow for that quality can fluctuate. So you're probably thinking, so Raul, how is it that a meal or a byproduct, the protein is going to fluctuate? Real simple. Right now, gas prices are going up, right? Oil prices, diesel's going up, transportation is going up, which my chicken that was costing $4.62 is now costing $8.97, right? I'm seeing it, right? So what happens if all of a sudden you are one of these companies and you're having to bring in the cheapest chicken you can find, and there's cheap chicken from China? Hey, all of a sudden, you were using chicken from Mexico and maybe Canada, maybe even in the U.S., but now you're importing from China, right? Not saying this is the case. I'm just giving an example. And now that chicken they're feeding over there, I guarantee you, as bad off as our chickens here are, them chickens over there, they just, I wouldn't be feeding my dogs chicken from over there, if you see what I'm saying. Because genetics could be turned on or off by the nutrients that you're putting into your dog. Did you know that? Did you know that if you go above the 5-to-1 omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, your dog's going to be inflamed internally? And inflammation sends an off switch to many, many genes. that are actually trying to grow and eat, whether it's grow bone, whether it's grow muscle, whether it's give more joints, tendons, whatever. And you're switching it off because you're feeding this cheap ass kibble that's causing inflammation inside of your dog, right? So let me go to the comments here real quick because I've kind of abandoned them here for a second. Let me see. I feed my dogs diamond, sardines, rice, and chicken. I want to build their muscles a little more too. I have XL pockets and standard bullies. All right, house to house TV. I'm going to tell you right now. If you're already feeding diamond puppy, do me a favor. Why are you feeding rice on top of what's already in there? I just made a video. I did call that diamond puppy is cleaner than, say, pedigree. Right? It's got a bunch of dyes, BHA, BHT, first ingredient, cornmeal. I think it was either cornmeal or whole corn grain. Whole corn grain. Yeah, that's what a dog really needs. That's what a carnivore really needs. Oh, but whole corn grain brings protein. Yeah, it makes the label protein go up higher, but you're feeding more vegetable protein to a dog that's not really able to process that like he does meat. When insulin is released into the bloodstream, the IGF is suppressed. Let me say it again. When insulin has to be released because your dog's blood sugar is way too high, that growth factor that we want so we could get mass, we could get muscle, we could get all that gets suppressed. So you're out here thinking you're having a great deal, but Fido's over there looking like his chest never popped, shoulders never came in, probably a little east-westy going on. I'm just saying, this could very well be part of the cost. But either way, I just don't want you to think I'm just saying it. I want you to see for yourself, right? I want you to see for yourself. Because I did ask, here we go. Is IGF-1 affected by carbohydrates and dog food? I'm sure you guys are seeing the screen. And the result was the statement that IGF-1 insulin, like growth factor 1, is suppressed while a dog releases insulin is partially accurate depending on the metabolic state. You see, that little statement right there, partially accurate depending on the metabolic state. Let me tell you guys something. If you know enough about something and somebody's trying to hoodwink you, that's when you realize that AI, for as good as it is, it's being manipulated behind the scenes. But let's keep on reading, right? Let's keep on reading. But it's more precise to say that insulin resistance, which often accompanies high insulin levels, can lead to complex changes in IGF-1 signaling, including potential suppression of its function. I broke it down a little simpler. This thing decided to give a big old runaround so that it could kind of confuse you a little bit. All right. And yes, insulin and IGF-1 are studied together because they're structurally similar. There are similarities in the structure, thus the name IGF-1. Okay. That's why. Right? But do you want to know what really stimulates muscle in your dog? I'll tell you exactly what will stimulate the hell out of the IGF-1. But before I do, you're going to have to drop IGF-1 in the comments. And until I don't see 25 comments appear, I'm just not even going to talk about it, man. Because I'm going to have to start being manipulative with you. I'm going to have to. Because I'm looking at over 60% of the people up in here, 70% up in here are not even members, but you definitely listen to everything I got to say, right? So, hey, number love, do me a favor, help the algorithm, give me some IGF info, IGF-1, and I'm going to give you the information right now. I'm going to blow your mind. I've been talking to you guys about this, but you don't want to listen. You don't want to sit there for 5 minutes and just listen. Or watch a 10-minute video that's going, no, Raul, what's the kibble you're feeding? Oh, I'm feeding that one right there. Oh, I'm going to go get it right now. Hey, why is there a mushroom growing out my dog's neck? I don't know, bro. Do you do everything else I do with my kibble? What'd you do? Oh, you got to go watch the videos. The ones that you skipped originally. Yeah, you got to go watch those, bro. I can't do that for you, man. Some of y'all want me to chew it and spit it right in your mouth. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. All right, let's count them here, man. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We're still 6 comments away. And I'll tell you exactly what's going to blow the hell out of the IGF-1. Blow the hell out of it. Make your dog produce more IGF-1, right? That's actually going to help you build muscle, right? Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, man. Because a lot of you be comparing QBN. Oh, they give great information like these other kennels do. My thing is, who's talking to you about how to stimulate the IGF-1? Please don't compare us. If there's other people not talking about IGF-1, just do me a favor and don't compare us. We don't need that type of comparison. All right? I'm just saying, keeping it real with you. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 1 away. 1 IGF comment away, and I'll drop it. I'm going to drop it. Straight up. I'm going to blow your minds. Blow your minds. And then I'm going to hit you with something. I'm going to hit you with something that you're going to say, oh, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. All right. We got it. We got it. So I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to stimulate IGF-1 more than anything else. All right. All right. Well, it's my first time hearing about IGF-1. Well, that tells me you haven't been listening to QBN for too long, because I should go back to my genetic videos, man. That's all I talk about. Anyways, let me give you the breakdown. So if spiking the blood is going to cause a suppression of the IGF-1 somehow, right? Then the object of the game is to add nutrients that do not spike the blood sugar. Well, what nutrients may they be, Raul? I'm going to tell you. Protein and fat. But for your jumping off at the, just hear me out. Try and make it as good fat as you can. Have you guys been watching my shorts or my videos? I've been repeatedly talking about adding sardines to the kibble, sardines to the raw, sardines to the cooked. Do you know why I keep referring to sardines? I'm referring to sardines because, one, they're high in omega-3, which is going to help your dogs suppress inflammation, right? Omega-3. And it's a good fat, right? Probably one of the best that your dog could have. But what's the second part to it? It's got protein. Protein at its best. I'm also been adding, and I've been saying it, a boiled egg. Think about it. How much does a boiled egg and a can of sardines right now is costing me about $1.05. You don't need to give the whole can. You could give two pieces of sardines on a 60-pound dog. And that one can is going to last you today and tomorrow. I'm just saying. It's cost effective. It's going to help your dog reduce inflammation, because inflammation, guys, here we go. Here's the part where I love it when they're comparing us to other kennels, but the other kennels listen to us and then repeat what we say, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, they know what they're talking about. Do me a favor. Look at the date on the video before you start making comments like that. So myostatin, hear me out. Myostatin is something that is released when the muscle is damaged, and it will keep your muscle from growing. This is why over damaging a muscle in order for it to grow creates a counter effect. Myostatin. Guess what? The higher that omega-6 to omega-3 ratio you have, the more inflammation the dog's going to have in the body when he rips some muscle, right? I'm not saying rip like in rip. I'm talking about he does exercise. You either put a weighted vest on him or you have him run on a flirt pole, whatever. My point is, once he rips muscle, the amount of myostatin that's released is higher, which is going to contradict the very muscle you're trying to add. You see how that works, man? These are all puzzle pieces, and you're connecting dots and putting puzzles together at the same time. So a lot of you don't realize it. And I get it, man. I get it. A lot of you don't realize it. But the main issue why your dog has skin issues, why it's got breakdown, why it's not muscling up, it's you. I have said here 101 million times, the biggest asset to a kennel is the breeder and what he's got between his ears. And that's what this platform is all about. There's one last thing I'm going to drop you with. I've talked to you about I've spoken to you about macronutrients. I haven't spoken to you about a micronutrient reset and stabilized, consistent quality. You already know where I'm headed with this. I'm talking about NuVet, the green bottle. That's where your minerals and vitamins are at. They're going to help you absorb more of the food that you're already feeding. You don't even have to feed more kibble if you start feeding this. And you're going to have NuJoint DS, which is, people call it joint support because of the name. But not only is it joint support, it's also a very strong anti-inflammatory. These two things together have been running in my yard. True enough, I made a pivot, but before I did, you can see my dogs. You can see their feet. You can see their coats. You can see our dogs day in, day out. They don't have half of the issues of the dogs that you have out there. And most of it, not all of it, there's definitely a genetic component I can't take away, right? And that'll be for another day, a conversation for another day. But it's also the nutritional component that's switching on the right switches and switching off the bad switches. It's really that simple, man.